On this edition of Lexington Now, part 1 of 2022 in review. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of December 26, 2022. It's our tradition on Lexington Now to take time at the end of each year to look back at some of the biggest headlines in city government over the past 12 months. 2022 was a year filled with activity in Lexington, and we began to pull out of the pandemic, and recovery was in full stride. We begin our look back at the year that was with the reopening of the Kentucky Theater in January.
Hello, I'm Fred Mills, manager of the Kentucky Theater. As many of you know, the Kentucky has been a part of this community for almost 100 years. In fact, this coming October, the theater will be 100 years old. I've been associated with the theater pretty much for over 50 years. I tell everyone that I have the best job in Lexington, and I am excited to be coming back to the Kentucky for its reopening. It hasn't been as easy a task as we thought getting reopened, primarily due to our digital projectors did not get used for a year. We turned the projectors on and they worked. A few days later, when we checked them out again, they didn't work. We're involved with a supply chain, waiting for parts to come in. So that means that we're unable to show any first-run movies at this time. But we have found out how to do some Blu-rays and DVDs. So we thought it was really, really important to get people back in the theater again. Since the theater's going to be 100 years old in October, we're going to show a movie every month from each decade. So this would be the first one, the film from the 20s. And it's Sherlock Jr., I believe that's the one with Buster Keaton. And Charlie Chaplin film that's called The Kid. The price back in the 20s, I think, was 50 cents, so it's going to be 50 cents for this one night. So. And then, of course, next month in February, we'll be doing a film from the 30s and then on leading up to October. Back in 2020 was a difficult year. The Kentucky Theater closed in March and was closed to June. We attempted, and we reopened things that it was a slow summer. It was a little slow for everybody with restaurants and bars as well as theaters. We could see early September that with the attendees that we were having, that as a business that we weren't going to be able to survive. So we had to ultimately make plans to close, which we did in early October. And then spring forward to 2021, the Kentucky Theater Group that had previously operated the theater for almost 30 years decided that they did not want to come back. You know, they were out. Mayor Gordon decided to issue an RFP for someone new, a new management company to take over and to operate the theater. The Friends of the Kentucky that had been associated with the theaters fundraising from several years ago decided that they wanted to be the management company.
So today I am officially recommending that the management contract for the Kentucky Theater be awarded to the Friends of the Kentucky Theater. Yes.
And then we set out on our mission to get to Kentucky reopened again. And here we are. You know, it's taken a little bit more time than we had anticipated, but the main thing is that we're going to get people in the theater and then get these parts in, and then got a lot of films to catch up on.
The turmoil of inequity gave rise to protests for justice during the pandemic, and Lexington responded swiftly to those cries. And in February, the Permanent Racial Justice and Equality Commission was announced.
Today is a new day, a day to look to the future, a day to talk about our city and its wonderful mix of cultures and languages, and most importantly, a day to pledge to work together to ensure everyone is welcome and everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Today, we are officially setting up the Permanent Racial Justice and Equality Commission. Now, the city doesn't set up new permanent commissions very often. The message the establishment of this commission sends is very simple. We know we still have work to do to achieve racial justice and equality in our community, and we are in this for the long haul. Leading this effort will be Sam Mukes and Charlotte Turley, the commission co-chairs.
I want to thank the mayor for her confidence in me, first of all, to be on the commission, and then to have me to co-chair for this commission for the first year. I'm excited for our meeting that will follow this press conference so that I can learn more about the needs assessment that led to the creation of this commission, the overall objective and mission of the commission, and I'm equally excited to work with this group, many of whom I've worked with before, had as students, and gone to college with too, some of them, but I'm just excited. As I told the mayor, as a retired person, I'm kind of really possessive of my time. So, but I am excited because if I had any concerns, I would not have agreed to be on the commission. But I do thank her for her confidence in me. I look forward to working with Mrs. Turley and this committee.
I am really excited to serve in this leadership capacity, and if I can do anything to help enhance this wonderful city, just let me know. I'm just so thrilled to be part of this commission. Thank you.
Just a brief point of a few updates that we have worked on. Of course, we have now submitted this commission for approval to council as the Permanent Racial Justice and Equality Commission. We have added two civilians to the police disciplinary review board, and are now accepting nominations for that position. We are addressing health equity. One of the recommendations in the report from 2020 was to improve access to healthy food options here in Lexington. And so we have begun some community engagement sessions around how we will access healthy food options by exploring the idea of possibly a mobile grocery store. We have expanded programming at the Charles Young Center to now include group therapy for the youth who have experienced traumatic, violent events, and also working with community organizations, the courts, and other resource agencies to offer an expungement clinic. That information will be forthcoming, but that is one of the barriers that keeps individuals out of the workplace, out of housing, out of health equity, and out of education. The police have implemented the body camera policy that was one of the recommendations in the report. So all police officers are now required to wear body cameras, and the software has also been updated. And shortly, in May, we should have the minority business disparity study completed. So there's been a lot of work that has been going on in the background for the Racial Justice and Equality Commission and the recommendations that came from the report in 2020. And I look forward to working with this commission to continue to do the work.
The city takes its responsibility to our environment seriously, and that is reflected by our commitment to responsible recycling of waste. In April, the multi-million-dollar upgrades to the city's recycling facility were unveiled.
Starting today, Paper recycling is back at Lexington curbsides. We have missed the convenience of being able to recycle paper curbside, and now the machinery at the Lexington Recycle Center has undergone a $4.2 million upgrade, and we're ready to go. In another step forward, we have installed equipment that allows us to be able to recycle cartons for the first time ever. And I'm talking about things like broth boxes, milk cartons, juice boxes, all those kinds of things. The new equipment and upgrades to existing devices will allow the recycling center to do several things: to sort paper collected curbside for more effectively, and to produce better quality paper. Increase the capacity of this center to produce higher quality recyclables to sell. Use optical sensors to better sort plastics. Sort out glass earlier in the process to reduce equipment damage from broken glass. And carry material more efficiently thanks to a new conveyor belt layout. These are a big deal. The Lexington Recycle Center serves communities throughout central Kentucky, and we are happy to have it back in operation better than ever before.
Our announcement 3 years ago that we had to suspend curbside paper was because we were struggling to find vendors that were interested in the paper we had to provide. That led us to the conclusion that what we really needed was an overhaul of our center. The facility hadn't been updated since we switched to single stream recycling about 10 years ago. And most of our components were past their useful life. That meant that routine wear and tear were causing our system to break down on a regular basis. In addition, several of our pieces were now undersized for the volumes we were receiving, and that caused our staff to constantly have the conversation about, do we run at a capacity higher than this older equipment can allow, or do we work overtime to try and continue processing? Finally, like so many other aspects of our daily life, newer models of similar systems now sort the same material more effectively, allowing us to have better material at the end of the process that vendors would be more interested in.
If you're excited about this, be a recycle advocate. This is a community resource behind me. We invested $4.2 million in these upgrades. There are people that work here constantly, daily, sorting through the material. It's not just machines. We need to protect the machines that we spent all that money on, but there's also people that are on the line that are sorting through things. And so by putting only the things that we ask for in your recycle bins, that really helps protect this investment and protect the people that are working here. And so we have handy dandy little flyers that are available for download, and you can print them at home. But also we will be handing them out everywhere we are for the next several months, because we want to make sure that people have this information and are able to recycle properly.
1, 2, 3. Yay! 3, 2, 1.
After the break, we continue our look back at 2022.
It's time. It's time to get honest about domestic violence. It's time, Lexington.
Lexington, it's time.
It's time.
Domestic violence is a community issue, not a private matter.
It's time to get honest.
We all know someone who has experienced domestic violence.
It's time.
Lexington, it is time.
It's time.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. In April, one of the largest infrastructure projects in decades was officially opened, Central Bank Center.
It is a fantastic day in Lexington. And the first thing I'd like to do is we have several council members here, and I'd like to ask all of you to stand, please, and be recognized. Yep. We have James. The reinvention and expansion of Central Bank Center has really been a team effort. It has taken all of us working together over a period of years to get it done. And we sure did it. Right, Bob? Let's not forget, aside from all the other challenges, we had a pandemic right in the middle of this construction, right in the middle. And our economy took a roller coaster ride and dive, and however you want to put it. But we held on and kept our eyes on the future. And now it's time to celebrate. I first want to thank Jim Gray for his vision, and our legislators, our council members, Central Bank Center and Luther Deaton, thank you, and the University of Kentucky for their support. Central Bank Center is the work of powerhouse partnerships. As a council member and again as mayor, I have proudly supported Central Bank Center, and I believe in it. It's already attracting new conventions, and soon there will be more jobs, activity, events, and excitement downtown.
Today we celebrate the grand opening of the Central Bank Center expansion. Just look at this facility. This is what 11 years, $310 million, and the hard work of so many talented people can do. It is truly incredible. The completely new Central Bank Center Convention Facility and renovated Rupp Arena represents nothing less than the single largest public sector investment in Central Kentucky history. Pretty exciting. And I believe that this grand opening is truly a case of a major project meeting its moment in time and in history. The importance of this project to Lexington, but really to the wider Commonwealth, simply cannot be overstated. This transformational project is the real deal. It delivers on several fronts. It's Rupp Arena transformed and modernized with the addition of 50,000 square feet for hospitality club use. The renovated Rupp Arena is already up and running. It hosted a monster truck rally, as well as Elton John in the past month, and it's got Disney on Ice, Alan Jackson, and Keith Urban on deck.
In May, Mayor Gorton announced the city's acquisition of the first ever public access to the Kentucky River and the many recreational opportunities it offers.
So what you are looking at is 30 acres of riverfront property that the city is purchasing. This will be the only public access to the Kentucky River in Fayette County. I have been working on this project since the first day in the mayor's office, and I'm thrilled it's finally happened. I learned about this property just before I became mayor. This will provide new opportunities for recreation in Lexington. It will be a beautiful new park. And those who love kayaks and canoes will have a place to get onto the river and travel 12 miles between locks. The city has signed an agreement of sale for the property with John Kelly, whose family has owned this property for decades. As you can see on the map, the property is located off Old Richmond Road near the I-75 bridge into Madison County. Monica Conrad and I have been negotiating with the Kelly family since 2019 and have walked the property with them a few times. Naturally, the pandemic delayed us a bit, but it delayed everything, so we are just thrilled to be here today. Chris Ford got involved with the negotiations in the last few months, and everything came together just this past Friday, and we are wasting no time in moving forward.
This announcement and acquisition today brings a whole new dimension to our city and our county. We have so much going on right now: a new state-of-the-art convention center, Town Branch Commons, an ever-growing, vibrant downtown, Breeders' Cup on the horizon, and, as always, our unparalleled horse farms and rural scenery. Now we can add 30 acres adjacent to the Kentucky River. Years ago, I learned, and I repeat often, that Kentucky, or Lexington, Kentucky, is the largest city in the United States furthest away from a body of water. It's always been a fun fact to know and tell. Well, today we are going to make up for it as we celebrate the city and county has bridged that distance gap.
A few years ago, we took an internal look at Visit Lex about the way that we were promoting our city and how we were conveying that message. And we realized that we had not done enough when it came to outdoor recreation and the opportunities afforded by getting outside and enjoying all that we had to offer. And so we really started to make a conscientious effort to make sure we were letting our visitors know how much fun could be had by taking in our many wonderful outdoor recreational opportunities. And there's certainly no shortage of that throughout the entire state of Kentucky.
Parks is honored to be entrusted with this land long held by the Kelly family. It will increase our public green space and recreational opportunities for Lexington and the surrounding region. Improving river trail activities, obtaining land for an additional nature park were all part of our 2018 Parks Master Plan. As we've learned throughout the pandemic, Lexington values their outdoor recreational space. We saw record visitation over the past 2 years at McConnell Springs and at Raven Run. Expansion of natural areas at the Kelly property not only increases our recreational space, but it'll ease the burden on some of our existing nature parks. It'll also improve that regional trail access and really give the community more diverse opportunities to recreate. We've listened to users requesting expanded recreational opportunities. Having access to the river will allow our natural areas experts to add unique programs to their already robust schedules. We anticipate future programs such as interpretive canoe trips, geological, water quality, and river ecosystem programming, birding from canoes, as well as sharing the history of Fayette County's relationship with the river. Our parks continue to improve our commitment to bring new programs and recreational opportunities to all ages to your parks.
A major stride in public safety was made in June with the groundbreaking of a new police roll call center.
Welcome to Veterans Park. We are taking a big step forward in public safety today, breaking ground on a new East Sector roll call station, the first one outside of New Circle Road and Man-O-War. This new facility will position police officers closer to major traffic arteries and to neighborhoods along Man-O-War Boulevard. It will also save the city money on utilities and rent. We're building it on a piece of Veterans Park, the property we already own.
Just give you a little bit of history. 1999 is when we went into the sector system, and there's 3 sectors in Fayette County. Central sector, East Sector, and West Sector. The East Sector was we had it located at Center Parkway. We got a place that we could rent there, and as it worked out in 1999, we really wanted some police presence over in that particular area off of Center Parkway and Appian Way. Time has progressed. The building that we were in, we've been renting it for over 20 years, and it's just too small. And so we started looking at it. I discussed with the administration and with the chief that The desire was for that facility we had over there, that the company or the corporation, nonprofit corporation, wanted to really get us out of there because they want to raise that building over there. So that kind of evolved to where we got into discussion and talking to the chief and talking to others in the police department. We really need our own facility. We need to have a bigger facility. And so they came back and said, well, we've got some land and this is it right here. So this is great.
Good afternoon. I'm 1st District Councilman James Brown. I'm also the chair of Planning and Public Safety Council Committee, but I was also the chair of the Council Budget Link a year ago. And when Councilmember Brown first reached out to me about this project, it was something easy to support because this is a smart investment for the city, using city property adjacent to our fire station in a community neighborhood that is very supportive of our public safety and especially our police department. So this proposal was brought to the Links Committee. The whole committee supported it, and we brought this project forward to the full council, which also supported this. So I think today is a very strong example of the council and the administration's strong support of public safety and especially our police department, and look forward to seeing what this new state-of-the-art facility looks like in this neighborhood.
You know, keeping public safety in mind is paramount to planning for the city's future. This facility will improve our accessibility to a growing east sector. It will have updated features that not only benefits our officers, but will be of benefit to the community surrounding this sector house as well. I believe it's very special to be part of a city that has a mayor and a council that is very involved in ensuring that our police officers have the best resources to assist them in their efforts with providing a safe community for all. This investment shows that our city leaders are not just being mindful of public safety for today, but they're keeping in mind the public safety needs for the future.
That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. Be sure to tune in next week as we bring you part 2 of 2022 in review. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.